100 years ago, when Buick was just a dream, there were over 1,000 car companies vying for the public's attention. There was no guarantee for Buick when it was launched by an expatriate Scotsman, David Dunbar Buick. Buick found a group of wagon makers in Flint, Michigan, who would take the risk and finance his company. Unfortunately, Buick's investors were losing patience. They wanted to see more cars built, not just tested. They all agreed that only one man could help: Billy Durant, Flint's leading carriage builder. Unlike most people, Durant recognized what Henry Ford's Model T meant. He tried to buy Ford's company, but he couldn't come up with Ford's $8 million asking price. He bought Oldsmobile and housed it with Buick under the roof of a brand new company, General Motors. Durant quickly added the luxury car builder Cadillac and a mid-priced model, Oakland, later to be known as Pontiac. Buick sales provided the majority of the cash he needed to keep his enterprise afloat. But even Buick couldn't bail him out when he fell $14 million in arrears. A weakened Durant was forced to turn over majority control of General Motors to the bankers. While Durant nursed his wounds, he forged ahead with a new company named after his racing star, Louis Chevrolet. Chevrolet Motors was born in 1911. He set up shop in his old Flint Wagon Works building and began to amass as much GM stock as he could. By 1916, their combined holdings were large enough for him to march back in and throw the bankers out. Unfortunately, a post-war recession struck and sales plummeted. GM's stock fell with sales. Durant stepped in and bought loads of stock on margin. He couldn't stem the collapse, and then his creditors stopped lending him money and demanded their $27 million. Pierre DuPont saw an opportunity and told Durant he'd give him $35 million for his General Motors shares. This rescued Durant, but once again forced him out of General Motors. GM launched the Motoramas that traveled the country to show off its dream cars and production vehicles. While the American public flocked to gaze at the dream cars, they were also streaming into dealerships and buying cars. Buick sales kept climbing, zooming from 550,000 in 1950 to 745,000 in 1955. Buick became number 3 in sales. Buick sales continued their upward swing throughout the 1960s, but peaked when they racked up more than 821,000 in 1973. Some American buyers began to desert Detroit and sample fuel-efficient imports. They discovered that not only were they gas misers, but better built than their old American cars. Fuel economy, safety, quality, reliability, and durability, more friendly dealerships, salespeople that didn't belittle women buyers, all of these demands began to pile up on the doorsteps of the automakers. It had taken years for Buick to rebuild its identity. Finally, as it approached its centennial, the company started to show that it was turning around. New products were on the way. It looked like Buick had found the road to the new century.